Welcome to the 75th episode of Impact Media Presents. I'm Kelly Redmond, your host and Executive Director of Impact Media and Entertainment Coalition. Today is special for a number of reasons. We are celebrating our 12 Christmas favorites, and fifth on the list, no order of preference, but absolutely one of my favorites, Christine Swanson, and her live short action film, Fannie, which is absolutely incredible. You know, I love the social justice work, Christine, and all that you've done. Welcome and thank you, not only for today and celebrating our 75th episode, but being the motivation behind the very first episode where we celebrated you and Camille and the First Ladies of Gospel and Anjanou Ellis, who is involved in Fannie. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Kelly.
So tell us about Fannie. I could go on and on about how powerful it was in less than 10 minutes, but let's hear from you about your motivation for doing it and how much the project means to you.
Well, the short film, Fannie, was predicated on the idea that Anjanou Ellis and I were going to make a feature film about Fannie Lou Hamer called Sunflower. So she and I thought about ways in which that we can teach people about Fannie in a really quick way, because we knew we would want to pitch this to studios and executives who probably would not know who Fannie was. So we were like, let's do a proof of concept thing. So I applied for a grant from Chromatic Black and the Ida B. Wells Fund, and they gave me $10,000. And then in one day in Chicago, Anjanou Ellis and I went into a soundstage and we took some words from Fannie Lou Hamer and created a 9-minute comprehensive monologue that ended up becoming Fannie, the short film. And we started to show it around to people and entered it into some festivals. It won 2 awards at the Bronze Lens Film Festival, and it just started to take a life on of its own. And then someone was like, this is Oscar worthy, and then that went off on a tangent, and now it is eligible to be nominated for an Academy Award.
Congratulations. And knowing you for years, I know that winning the awards is not a motivation for you, but how exciting is this that your short film is actually up for consideration? So we're asking all Academy voters to please vote for Fannie for the live short film category.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit more about how it was working with Anjanou again in this context and knowing her background of being from Mississippi. She just captures her so beautifully and powerfully.
Well, I think this is a project that Anjanou had been circling for years for herself, and her goal was to get like a Mississippi writer, a Mississippi director, and make this movie about the hero of hers from Mississippi, where Anjanou she still lives in Mississippi right now. So someone that she didn't know about growing up or learned about in schools, and turns out most people don't know like the work of Fannie Lou Hamer and why that work is so significant to the semblance of democracy that we're enjoying today. Fannie Lou Hamer single-handedly turned the Democratic Party from a party of Dixiecrats into the party of Barack Obama and Kamala Harris. So that would not have happened without Fannie Lou Hamer's interjection into the political process, as essentially she was a poor sharecropper from Mississippi with a 6th grade education. So to me, she represents really the grit and determination of Black folks who really fought for our civil rights from a place where she came from and from a place with people that she cared about. So she not only fought for voting rights, she didn't know until the age of 44 that she could vote. That's the first time she could vote.
That's incredible.
And it's really ridiculous the amount of voter suppression that was happening back then in Southern America.
Yes,
Unfortunately, it's really history is repeating itself today.
absolutely.
All the ways in which voter suppression has taken root again. Well, probably not again, but even more so in our recent election. So
Absolutely.
Fannie Lou Hamer's story is a now story because
Yes,
we need to understand where we came from and how these rights were fought for and how we can maintain them, um, guided by the spirit of civil rights and human rights stalwart like Fannie Lou Hamer.
absolutely. You mentioned that the short was proof of concept for the feature film. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit more about your aspirations for the feature film and
Well,
how things are going.
Well, this is well, when Aunjanue Ellis was looking for a writer and a director from Mississippi, she could not find any, or anyone who wanted to come on board. So she decided to write the screenplay herself. And then we met each other on the set of Clark Sisters. And while working on
Yes.
that film, and afterwards, she approached me about coming on board as a director for the project. And once I read the script, honestly, it's really one of the best scripts I've ever read in my life. And I low key submitted it to the Athena List Awards, which the Athena List is a competition of the best screenplays written by women by about women in Hollywood. So lo and behold, Sunflower, the Fannie Lou Hamer story, actually won top honors at the Athena List Film Festival. So now she's an award-winning
Wow.
screenwriter as well, and this is an award-winning feature screenplay that is truly phenomenal from the written standpoint. And our goal is to
Mhm.
show and show how phenomenal it will be in the visual realm as well. So that's the goal. We're pitching it to some players in Hollywood and
Mhm.
financiers, and we have a feeling that we'll get it financed in production next year, hopefully in time and before the next presidential election.
Wonderful. That is really exciting, and I'm here to do whatever I can to support, and I believe that this will happen. I believe this needs to happen. So, wishing you, all the best. You know, I know, and kind of go back to your days with Faith Film Works and All About You, All About Us. Can't believe it's already been over 20 years for those projects, and it's important to know one thing about you in creating Faith Film Works is that your faith is a huge part of who you are. And I would love for you to share a little bit about how your faith has sustained you on this journey of being a filmmaker, writer, director in Hollywood.
Well, I don't know how people do it without some sense of faith that's grounded in something bigger than yourself.
Yes.
Is this industry is really not for the faint at heart. I mean, it's tough on so many different levels, but at the same time, there's you get a lot of no's before you get
Hmm.
any yeses. So just to withstand that is hard, and you really have to know your sense of purpose in doing this, or otherwise I don't know how it's sustainable. So that is all predicated on my faith in God, my faith in myself, faith in what my husband Michael Swanson and I have done and are doing and will do, and our faith in our really clear direction in terms of our purpose in this industry. So it's we walk by faith, not by sight. That is
Yes.
that's scripture, but that certainly has been um, a, a model that we adhere to in terms of how we move, because you never know what you could be doing next. I kid you not. Like,
Exactly.
I'll jump on a project that happens really quickly, and I'll go from project to project to project, and you always see like, oh, God put me there for this reason. So I'm very clear
Mm.
about purpose and intention, even though everything never has to go your way, but doesn't mean that you're not supposed to be there and doing.
Absolutely. You know, another project that you're involved in that we celebrated in this 12 Christmas favorites was All American Homecoming. Kelly Jenrette came on last week. We gave a shout out to you. Tell me just a little bit about how you enjoy being a director on All American Homecoming.
Well, I really enjoy being a director on all the episodic shows that I direct because it
Yes.
allows me an opportunity to come in close contact with great actors
Yes.
and sometimes great crew members as well. So and it differs from show to show to show, but I feel like the common thread I typically enjoy is just working with people who I like to say sometimes who are better than me in the areas that they're experts in. So I get to learn from them and I get to draw from them, and then I get to take that information to the next project. So I just I really enjoy directing a variety of things for the things that I walk away from, as opposed to all the things that I bring to the table, which I think is a lot, but I also walk away with a lot of inspiration, information, and encouragement in working with talented people, creative people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. In closing, please tell the viewers how they can follow you, how they can see Fannie, and anything else that you want to share.
Okay, my IG is cswanson44, and anybody can watch the short film on fannyshortfilm.com. If you're an
Okay.
Academy voter, vote for the short film in the live action short category. And if you are interested in just seeing the short film, check it out on fannyshortfilm.com.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much for your support. You were supportive. I reached out to you before I even moved to LA, and you and Michael have just been incredible in supporting whatever it is that I'm doing. And thank you for creating the uplifting and positive content that I built Impact Media to support. So I continue to celebrate you and all the wonderful things that you do and the content that you're making and the difference that you're making in changing changing the game, really, and giving an opportunity to celebrate people of color and stories that we may not see or hear otherwise. So thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing Fannie win that Oscar, as well as be turned into that full-length feature film soon. Take good care. Enjoy your family over the holidays. Give Michael a shout out. We're also celebrating Ain't Too Proud. So thank you again for everything. Have a wonderful holiday season. Take good care. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us on this 5th Christmas favorite episode out of 12 for Impact Media Presents. Have a wonderful holiday season. We'll be back a little later today with 2 more episodes of our 12 Christmas favorites. Take good care. Bye. See you soon.